Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. You guys know what's up with that. All right, so today we're going to be talking about, we're actually going to be doing a full review on the new Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star line. So he came out with concealers as well as setting powders. So this is what the boxes look like. This is the concealer box, and this is the powder box, which is quite a big box. Both are actually quite large, but I wanted to show you those right away. So I saved those boxes actually to show you guys. I purchased these shades, the peach corrector shade. I purchased C4, and I also purchased C3 as well as the rose powder, this guy right here. So I'm going to be doing a full review. I've been wearing this concealer and the powder for probably 2 weeks or more now, so I have a good feel for my thoughts on it. I'm going to be doing a try-on clip for you, and I will insert some swatches for you as well. But if you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts, seeing me try on the concealer and powder, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I showed you the unicartons in that clip, so it's these guys right here. Now, I will tell you right away, the concealer, I'll show you what it actually looks like, the component. So I'll pull C4, which is one of the shades. I'm not going to be using this shade. I actually like C3 a little bit better. This shade is described, I believe, as like a light fair shade with like rosy undertones or pink undertones. This is what it looks like. The component itself is pretty. It has like the star on the top. It is a plastic, so it's not like, I don't feel like it feels like the most luxe packaging, but it is really pretty. It's kind of like a collector's piece. I know a lot of people were saying when they ran out of product, they weren't going to throw this out. Now, one thing I did want to mention, this is pretty light on the amount in here. There's only like, I believe 3.5 mils of product, which is not very much for a concealer. Like the Tarte Shape Tape has 10 mils. Too Faced Born This Way, which is on the bigger end, the newer one they came out with, that one has 15 mils of product. And even my Milani one that I got at the drugstore, the Milani Conceal and Perfect, has 5 mils. The Jouer one, which I've always said is a very small amount, has 4.14, I think, mils. So this is on the lower end as far as how much product is actually in here. Now, I know he said in his video that a little bit does go a long way. I do agree with that, but at the same time, I kind of agree with that on other formulas as well. So I don't know why there isn't more product in here. I really wish there was. I like comparing it to the other ones kind of lets you know that you are getting less product. Now, the price is $22 US, which isn't bad, but for the amount in this, it actually is a higher price. And I will say if you're in Canada like me, I got charged customs on my order, which was around like close to $30. So for the powder, which was also $22, it retails the same price as this. This was $22 US with the exchange. And then on top of that, the $10, I think it was for shipping plus the duties. It was quite expensive to get this here. So I don't know if you're in Canada, if I would order probably from Beautylish. You can pay like your duties and stuff up front. But at the time, I did one order through them and one order through the Jeffree Star site because I couldn't kind of get them. I couldn't get what I wanted. I guess it sold out really quickly on Beautylish. So that's why I purchased some stuff off his site. I will say the stuff from his site actually came fairly quickly. It didn't take too long to get to me. It was quicker than the Beautylish order. So that was different for me because usually Beautylish is way quicker. So I don't know if it was something with the mailing, but I did get it quicker from his site this time. So I did end up purchasing the corrector as well, the peach corrector, which is right here. Of course, this is used for your under eyes to kind of conceal bluish, like dark circles under your eyes. Mine aren't too bad, but you will see me try it on in the clip. And then I also purchased the shade C3. So this is C3 right here, and this is C4. I feel like C3 is actually a little bit darker. It's described as having vanilla beige undertones, and I actually like this one more for my skin tone than I like the rose, but I can use either. But I will mention in the clip that I prefer how this one blends out more than this one, which is strange, but I feel like this one is just more see-through because of the, like, it's not quite right on my skin. So I really do like this one. And so if you're like my skin tone, I would say C3. And then I also mentioned that I picked up the powder. So this comes with 0.35 fluid ounces or 10 grams of product, which isn't too bad. I've seen less in products, so I don't think this one is too bad. That's what it looks like right there. You open it up, and it does have the sifter on the inside that you can turn. Now this does have a strong cotton candy scent. I mentioned that also in the try-on clip, so I'm not going to talk too much about that, but you'll hear me talk about it in that clip. It is a really strong scent. If you're sensitive to scent around your nose, you can inhale this pretty easily, and it is strong. So I wanted to make mention of that. Now there is 8 shades available in the powder, and in the concealer there's a total of 40 shades, I believe, including the 2 corrector shades. So it is a fairly large range of product, a large range of like different tones, especially for a setting powder. So I think he did well with that, and I think you would expect that from Jeffree Star. I think he'll do the same if he comes out with a foundation, which I know he is planning to. So I can expect a lot of shades in that line, but yeah, there are lots of shade options for you with different undertones. I did get the Rose shade, which has obviously the pink undertones. I believe there's a more yellow based one. There's like a classic, more translucent, and then they have some deeper shades as well. All right, so my thoughts on the concealer. I will say I really enjoy the formula on this one. It is totally different than anything I personally have ever tried. And what I mean by that is it's very kind of lightweight when it goes on, and it's not very thick. So when you first put it on, you don't think it's going to be super full coverage. And I would say, and I do say in the clip that it's a medium coverage, but you don't even expect it to be that because it's so like lightweight when you put it on, and it doesn't feel thick at all. So I do actually enjoy that about it, and I don't notice that in many other formulas. It does blend out really easily, and I don't find this one super drying. I find it kind of like a semi-matte formula. It does dry down nicely. I do feel like I still need to set it, but this is one, if you're not someone that sets, I think you might be able to get away with it. So you may enjoy that about this, but I do think it's a really unique formula that I haven't seen before. So yeah, I like the formula. I've been using it, like I said, a ton. I think it's a pretty good product. I just think there should have been more product in the concealer for the price point. And I know he said he tried to lower costs to make it like less expensive, which I appreciate, but we should have a little bit more product in there because it's actually quite highly priced for the amount of product that you're getting. So that's my only kind of beef with it. And also in Canada, of course, we had to pay like high duties, but that happens. There's nothing we can do. I know in other countries you can't even get a hold of things, so I totally get that. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna insert some clips of the swatches of all of this, and then we will go into actually trying this on. All right, guys, so right here is the Peach Corrector shade. And this is pretty much dried down, so that's true to kind of what it looks like once it's dried down. This shade here is C3, which this one is light with vanilla beige undertones. You can see definitely that it's a little bit darker than actually the one up, which is C4. This one has kind of pink undertones, so definitely more on the pink side, and I think it's actually a little bit lighter. I prefer the vanilla beige shade in C3, and that's what you'll see me use in the clip. And then over on the very end here, I just swatched out the Translucent Power in the shade Rose. So it has kind of a pink undertone to it. So that is the shades of the concealer swapped out. As I said in the video, I use the Peach Corrector and I use the shade C3, and then I go in with the Rose Powder. All right, guys, so we're first going to go in with the Peach Corrector shade. I'm going to put that underneath both of my eyes. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. I'm just going to look into, I have a Natasha, this like Bloom palette I'm using for the mirrors. If you see me looking over here, that's why. So I usually put a little bit right in that inner corner, and just, I don't put too much of this. You'll see that a little goes a long way and it blends out pretty easily. So that's all I'm literally going to put down because I don't want too much of that peach shade. I'm going to go in with my foundation brush. This is typically what I do. I'm using the Luxie 532 Round Top Blender. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. I have been liking this brush recently. So we'll kind of like blend this out. You can see how easy like that blends out too. Like it blends out so easily. By the way, I only had foundation on my eyeshadow and brows. I was just waiting to kind of do my concealer on camera. The foundation I have on is actually the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus. I've been obsessed with that since I hauled it in my Sephora haul. Such a good foundation if you have like normal to dry skin. I think it would work well for you. But there is that peach corrector shade on one side. I know that I have product down here. I probably shouldn't have done that, but you can still see the difference in kind of the blueness because it's kind of toned that down, which is generally what these kind of products is supposed to do if you have kind of the dark circles and things under your eyes. So I do think it makes a difference. I'm not sure if it's like a drastic difference. Like I can't say if I think you need to go out and get this, but if you are looking for a peach corrector, this one is really nice. And I do have like kind of like pinkish undertones, like pinkish kind of peach undertones, I think. So like I find this doesn't look like that weird on my skin, which is a little funny, but like once I blend it out, it just doesn't look that crazy underneath my eyes. But we're gonna cover that up anyway. That's what it looks like with both eyes done. I'm gonna go in with the shade. I actually had two shades, which I probably did mention in my previous clip, but I'm gonna go in with the shade C3. So that's this one right here. I do have the shade C4 as well, which is more of like a straight up pink undertone, but I actually find that one a little bit lighter, which is strange, but I do find this one works best for me. So I'm kind of gonna do the same thing. I am going to put a little bit more of the concealer down. And then I'm going to bring it down the bridge of my nose, put some around my forehead, some here, and just a little bit there. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And then I'm going to blend that out with that same brush, the Luxie brush. So we'll kind of dab that out. And just doing this part first, usually I do my brows like after I do this, but for the purposes of this video, I wanted to have brows on so I didn't look like completely crazy. Okay, we'll get that all blended out. I usually blend up around my wings just to get that a little bit more precise. So sorry if you hear my dog barking. I don't know what he's barking at. He barks at everything. I have two dogs, by the way. I have a bull mastiff and I have a shepherd collie mix. So one of them, they're both like fairly big, but one of them is about 110 pounds and the other one's probably like around like 75 to 80 pounds. So he's pretty big too. But they like to bark at everything. And we have a fox that visits us, so he really doesn't like the fox. But I guess that can be expected since he is a dog. So I'm going to blend out that nose area. Okay, so we have that all blended out. You can see it has pretty good coverage. I would say this probably has about like a medium coverage. I will say the other shade that I had, I felt like I could see through it more, and I'm assuming it's just because of like the undertone or something, which is weird because I typically wear pink undertones, but that one's just a little bit too sheer for me and just the wrong shade. So I don't wear it a lot. I probably will wear it just to like get some use out of it. Sometimes I mix C3 and C4 together and that works fine, but I really like this shade C3. Like I think it looks perfect under my under eyes. You guys can see it blended out actually really easily. I had no issue with it blending out and I love how it looks under my under eyes. So I have been using this quite a bit. I will say though, if you're looking for something comparable to Tarte Shade Tape, I don't think this is comparable, to be honest. I think it's like I said, a medium coverage, but it's still nice. I like medium coverages, but if you are looking for something super full, I think you could pass over this one or it would have to be built up. Next, we're going to go ahead and powder my under eyes. I did go ahead and pick up one of the Magic Star loose setting powders, and I got the shade Rose, which is kind of like the pink undertone. It's a beautiful packaging. I love it. So I will say this has a really strong like cotton candy scent. Like if you put this under your nose and inhale it, it like will make you cough. That's my one complaint. I don't mind scents. I use Coty Airspun, but this is like, it smells divine when you open it and like it smells good going on. But when you get this near your nose and inhale it, it's really hard, I feel like, on your lungs. I don't know. I feel like he could have done without that. But I mean, it is Jeffree Star and he's kind of extra in that way. So I'm just gonna put some into the cap. You can get it right through the sifter. And then I'm going to take this brush from Tarte. I don't know. It was part of like a holiday collection. Before I do that, actually, I'm just going to do that again just so I can get everything out. And then we're going to tap into that. I'm going to put a fairly good amount on there, and we're going to put that right underneath my eyes. Like I just inhaled it right there. Whew. My goodness. Yeah, that is, it's so strong when you inhale it. Like it's so hard on the breathing. I like it though, so I keep using it because it's like really smoothing and it feels really good on the under eyes. It doesn't dry me out. So that's with one eye powdered and one eye not powdered. So you can definitely see, I think, the difference in the two sides. Now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to do this again. I always try to like get most of my creasing out before I go in and set this. Put some powder. There we go. Again, I can smell this. Whew. And I know you're probably thinking I'm being like overly dramatic, but I am really not. Like, this is a pretty fragrant powder. And I know he said in his video it's like subtle, and the thing is, it's subtle, like, I don't think it's that subtle, but I think it's a little subtler when you smell it in the container than when you actually put it on. All right, so I'm gonna put a little powder on the perimeters of my face. All right, guys, so that is what it looks like with everything set. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back. All right, guys, so we are all finished. So obviously I have all my makeup on. You would have seen it in the beginning clip. This is what everything is looking like. I literally just finished. So I think it's looking really good underneath the under eyes. I don't have really much creasing. I do get a little creasing sometimes throughout the day, but I tend to get that no matter what. I am wearing this early in the morning right through until late at night, so that kind of happens. It does have great lasting power, and I feel like the powder really assists in smoothing everything out. So I think the two of those products combined, I think these combined go really well together. But yeah, you guys got to see what it looked like. That's really all I have to say. If you guys did like the video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification if you want to stay up to date on my videos. You guys know I'm not the most freaking uploader. I'm trying my best. But yeah, definitely hit that. If you guys tried any of the products or are planning to try any of them, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.